2023 occupancy stats around the summer period were reasonably good, but the other periods through the year were typically well down. In Britain have recorded people coming to the UK somewhere in the region of 25% down compared with pre-COVID levels. Throughout Europe, numbers are down, certainly in the UK and in Germany. I think we should be able to see some of this improving into the next year. 2023, we were typically seeing costs outstripping tariffs, so GPs were typically being hit. Into 2024, we've seen continued increases in minimum wage, with businesses typically seeing wage costs about 35% of their overall turnover. This is likely to increase with minimum wage rises. Into 2024, clearly the costs are more under control, despite what I've just said about wages, but inflation is now not rising as fast as it was. I think there should be a return of overseas market compared with pre-COVID levels. The UK inbound travel's been something like 25% down, and clearly the West Country isn't so heavily hit by that, but we should see some improvements there. The typical demographic of clients in the West Country tourist base probably benefit on balance from increased interest rates compared with other parts of Europe where people are perhaps going abroad. Typically in the election year, there's always a blip in occupancies just before the election. Just human instinct. I think people like to be at home to vote still, so that's an unfortunate aspect. And it would be good to know when the election is, so that people can start setting their holiday plans. But more generally, though, it's a bit of an oddity, really, that tourism and the sector overall accounts for something like 10% of overall GDP for the country, and yet very little political emphasis is placed on it. I think it's unlikely, really, that we'll see a fall in VAT rates. Obviously, people would like to see that, but I'm not sure that's necessarily a vote winner. But overall, generally speaking, changing governments don't have a major impact on the tourist sector because of the lack of political input. The first thing I'd say for 2024 is with minimum wage going up, don't panic too much because all businesses are affected by that. Best advice I can give is make sure you keep your tariffs moving forward as well. From a tax point of view, don't forget that everything you spend from April, you'll get full tax relief. The super deduction is gone for companies, but everyone will get full expensing relief for plant and machinery. For corporates, marginal rates of tax at the lower end, so anybody with tax of more than £50,000 needs to be a bit careful that they keep the right side of the marginal rates, and at the higher end, quarterly payments on account, and making sure you keep pace with those because the interest rates now applied to those are really quite significant. We're 4 years now beyond COVID. We're several years on beyond Brexit. I know a lot of people have delayed some of their structuring decisions because of if not one of those things, then both of those things. And now may be as good a time as any to give your business a bit of a health check and check that you're structured correctly to ensure tax efficiency and the longevity of your business more generally.